we're in round 5. I'm so excited that we are here. So to give you a quick background on Spark, are you a Spark member, Maria? I can't remember.
No, I think I've just
Perfect.
subscribed to some of the emails. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
Perfect.
it's
Okay,
worth
cool.
it. Trust me. It is a fantastic group. Really, very active, which I like. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm going to bring cheerleaders more often. But yeah, so Spark is a membership community for women in business who want to grow their profit and impact. And really, Spark is built on 3 key pillars. So, education. So, we do expert masterclasses, we've got a library of resources, we've got educational videos, sales courses, and we're bringing out business courses all the time. And then our community, obviously. So, we have monthly meetups, we have our Slack channel, and promotion. So my background is sales and marketing for 20 years. So I'm all about how do we actually get more customers. So we have our business directory. You can jump on a podcast with me, write blogs for our news site. You will give you social media shout outs, all of those amazing things, perks and discounts. So of course we want to make running business cheaper. And then of course you get entry into our quarterly $15,000 grant program. So $39 a month, $365 a year, or we've just introduced a lifetime access plan, which is $999 and you get it for life. So if you plan on being in the community for 3 years or more, then that's the best deal. So who am I? 10 years in business, 20 years in sales and marketing. I am the CEO and co-founder over at a company called Scrunch, which is an influencer marketing platform, so a piece of software and digital marketing agency. Founder here at Spark, and I also grew the Answer Store, which is a e-commerce business that I sold in 2020, I believe. And my vibe is just I'll always spill the champagne on how to grow your profit and impact. We don't spill tea here. We only spill champagne. That is a big point of difference of the Spark community. But why do we believe in grants? So the very quick story of how the grant program was born is so we have at Spark TV, which is our podcast series, and I interviewed 2 amazing women-owned businesses every week. And I just kept showing up on the podcast, regurgitating the same thing as everyone else, talking about how women are underfunded. And I made an outrageous statement that was, you know what, if women are going to have to solve this problem, if we're going to solve this problem, it's got to be us. And then I was like, oh, I think I meant women collectively. And then I was like, oh no, I think it's actually us. Like we need to start solving this problem. I can't just be showing up and talking about the problem. So the Women in Business Grant Program was born, and it has gone through a few iterations. We are now in round number 5. We've funded $55,000 already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 amazing women in business, and so many different types of businesses as well. So Kat at Practice Studio, that's a sustainable fashion studio and retail store. Jamie from the Buttery Music School, it's a music school. Peter Guy from Iridis Cosmetics, she has both a beauty cosmetics line and also does these amazing makeup tutorial workshops for trans people. And she also has a beauty therapy studio. Jeevi from Afro with Jeevi is this awesome African dance school in Singapore. Leanne is this beautiful, she creates this amazing linen fabric from, oh my gosh, what is it? Lotus flower stems. So it's a sustainable fabric that also supports artisans overseas. It's absolutely incredible. Courtney from Sacral, so body piercing studio, and Alicia from Zonely, which is a tech platform that connects people who are interested in sports. So many different industries, you know, doesn't have to be techie or innovative, which a lot of government grants require you to be. These are just really amazing women doing incredible things for their communities. So absolutely love it. So the format this round, we're doing 3 $5,000 grants. So to give you a quick background, in round number 1, we did one $10,000 grant and it was awarded by a public vote. We got feedback from the community that said not everyone has a big community and can get votes. So we introduced a second grant, which was $5,000 and awarded by a judge. So for the last 3 rounds, we've done that. We've given away $15,000 every quarter, one 10K public vote, one 5K judge awarded vote. And then we did another survey and we asked the community whether they would prefer us to move to all judge awarded. So in round 5, we are doing the 15K as 3 judge awarded grants. So there's no need to go out and get any votes for your application. You just pop it in and forget about it, which is good. Eligibility. So as long as you're based in Australia, New Zealand, or Singapore, you identify as female, you've been in business for 12 months or more. Now, caveat to that, it's just a registration date. So if you haven't made any money, if you're still in product development, that's absolutely fine. We do recognize that funding helps at that stage as well. And of course, you're a Spark member. There is a discount code for annual membership. So the Grant 100 code gets you $100 off. So that's 265 for the year, which means you get 4 chances to enter the grant program. But that's it. Everything else is fair game. So it doesn't matter if you're a product business, a service-based business, a not-for-profit, whatever it looks like, it doesn't matter. As long as you tick those 4 boxes, you can apply. Application should be easy. So after being in business for over 12 years now, I've applied for every grant under the sun. And they always just took so long, and you'd have to get letters of support and quotes and all of these crazy things. So we've really tried to make applying easy because we all have businesses to run. So there's basically a few business questions, which I'll take you through in a second, and then a quick 1 to 2 minute video. And all the videos you'll see from the people who have won, they're on their iPhones, just super authentic. As long as you're in good lighting and you can hear what you're saying, then it's absolutely fine. You don't need any production value at all. So the application questions, the first 11 are fairly straightforward: name, email, business details. Then there's 3 meaty questions. So tell us a bit about your business. What do you do? Who do you serve? Why do you do it? How would 5K actually enable you to create more profit and impact? And then outline what you would spend it on. So the actual itemization. So like I'd spend $1,000 on new personal branding photos, $1,000 on ads, $1,000 on whatever it is that you want to spend the money on. And then the link to the video, which is basically just a summary of the written component. It's just another way to connect with the judge. So some people are really good on camera, other people are really good in writing. So it kind of gives everyone a bit of a balanced approach to put their best foot forward. Timeline. So applications open 1st to the 31st of August. Voting. See, this deck hasn't been updated properly. Judging will happen from the 1st to the 30th of September, and the grant will be awarded by the 10th of October. So we always award in that first week of the 3rd month, and essentially the winner gets the phone call, the winners get the phone call on the 10th, and as long as they sign the grant agreement, the grant is actually funded within 24 hours. They get the funds, and then we announce to the public around about the 12th of every month who actually won. My favorite part of the grant is that everybody talks about how actually sitting down and writing the application builds their confidence. It's like this amazing opportunity for them to reflect on how far they've come. When we did have the judging, everyone used to say, "Oh my God, I told everyone about my business and then I got more sales." And I was like, oh, isn't that crazy? So that's my only downside about not having the public vote grant. So you never know, that might come back in the future. But anyway, and of course you'll be a part of Spark. So we will become obsessed with your business growth just as much as you. So that's the general gist. One of the things that you said, Maria, was what can you spend the money on? Basically, if you can articulate how it will help you grow your business, then it's fine. So some people have bought equipment. Some people have used it for payroll and operational expenses. Some people have used it on straight marketing expenses. It's really up to you. Just as long as it's not a Chanel handbag, then it's good to go. But yeah, that's basically the crux of it. Was there anything that perhaps was on your mind that I didn't cover?
No, I think that's fairly straightforward. So basically, in terms of it, you have to sign up, become a Spark member, but you don't necessarily have to say sign up for a full year. You could sign up for the time period that would then cover the grant.
Exactly. If you just want the grant, it's $39 a month. And if you just want to go for one round, then 3 months and you can cancel. You can,
Yep.
and that's it. If you decide, actually, I don't really want to apply for the grant, but I want to be a part of Spark, it's $39 a month and you can cancel anytime. There's no contracts.
Yeah. No, that's really a good way, at least, to kind of like test out the community as well, like,
Yeah.
and see if it's going to be for you or not.
Exactly right.
Why I'm here is because my business partner, Angela Vincent, who's a clinical hypnotherapist, and wanted to, apply for this. And I said to her, look, it is really tough because the voting is completely all about your social media, isn't it? I mean, which for us, as you know, makes things really hard.
Well, maybe it's good that you dialed in today, because we did a survey of the community and asked, would they like to keep the vote and the judge or just move to all judge grants? And everyone voted to move to the judges. So this round we're doing 3 5K judge awarded vote, no voting involved.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. And as you know, because as on top of everything else, when we're launching something, it's full on. We don't have time anyway. So this is for Vocal Moment, which is
Cool.
all about teaching and training people to speak up. And
Oh,
how to use
awesome.
their voice. Yeah. I ask you her questions because she sent me.
Of course.
Yes, she sent me an email saying, okay, her questions.
Yeah.
Do we count if we've been registered for less than the months in the prerequisite? She said, thanks. She read the prerequisite in the fine print.
Yeah, so it's 12 months, but it's not, your business doesn't have to be in business as such. It's the registration date. So if your ABN's been registered for 12 months or more, that makes you eligible. So if you haven't launched the brand, if you're still in product development or anything like that, then and that's okay. But yeah, the actual ABN needs to be registered for 12 months.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Does
she have another ABN that she could register it under?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Well,
and I have as well. Yeah.
Well, exactly, because you're both collaborating on it as a project. So
yes.
think about it as, this is our business and this is the project that we're applying for funding for.
Okay. Thank you. Awesome.
I always like to be creative.
Yeah. Oh God, I love it. I love your brain. Now, yeah, and she said the videos with past winners are really helpful. Cool. What would you say is the key component that needs to be accomplished in the application? That's her only other question.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that the judge looks for is, if they give you $5,000, will you know exactly what to do with it to grow your business?
Yeah.
So just being really clear on, this is where we're at, this is what we want to spend the money on, and this is the outcome.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm here to answer any of your questions. So feel free to come off mute. Feel free to write it in the chat, whatever you feel. I am super happy. And if you feel uncomfortable asking it in front of the group, also email me. That's no problem as well. I'm very happy to answer personal questions over email, or we can set up a one-on-one if that's better for some people. So over to you guys. Would love to hear if there are any specific questions.
Danielle, I'd be interested to know if you're finding that it's consumer-facing businesses that are the best candidates for the grant.
So I think what we're finding is that the winners have been able to articulate the best how 5K or 10K would actually help them. There have been, and that's the feedback we give after the judging happens each round, is that you really do need to be able to articulate how that money is going to impact the business. And that's been the biggest thing, I think, rather than what industry they're from, rather than if they're consumer facing or not. So yeah, if you're worried about that, I would have more of a think about how's that money going to impact our business and how can I articulate that in the application so the judges see that.
Thank you.
Cool. No worries. No worries. Okay, so I've got one in the chat. So from Patricia, thank you. What are the People's Choice and panel judging the applications on? What are they looking for? So the People's Choice is a voting system. So it's basically the person that gets the most votes. So that's a pretty simple one. The panel judging, what we have had, because we've had a couple of guest judges, and we try and keep them anonymous until it's announced so that they don't get hassled. But the judges are always looking for that key. Like, if we give you this grant money, will it actually help your business? Do you know what levers you can pull inside your business that will actually grow? So making sure you know how the relationship between money and growth in your business. And we've got one from Amy. Any tips for entrepreneurs who are just starting out on their journey? So if we're talking about it in context of the grant, I would say, yeah, it's a really interesting one, because grant money before you have revenue and customers should be, how do I get to revenue and customers? So being able to show that link. And if you're not talking about in relation to the grant, if you're just talking about general tips for entrepreneurs, it is just keep going. This is a hard game, and you do have to be prepared to show up every day and back yourself in business. And it won't be easy, but there are amazing communities around there. I mean, obviously I'll tell you how Spark's the best, but I'm a part of several women in business communities in Australia, and there are just so many amazing female founders who are willing to help early stage founders, whether it be with, if you have product development questions, marketing questions, team questions, whatever it is. There are so many amazing people. So don't be afraid to ask for help when it comes to the next challenge that's in front of you on your journey. And yeah, anyone else got any questions?
I've got a question for you, if I can. So with the quarterly grants, is it okay, like obviously if you're not successful in the first one, if it's still, you're on the same mission and you're on the same kind of trajectory, are you able to still apply for the next one with the same mission?
Absolutely. So what we do at the like in the last week of applications, we actually send out an email to everyone in the previous round and just ask them if they want to reuse their application. So you are actually very welcome just to resubmit on the same application, or you can submit again if you want to tweak it based on any feedback you received. But absolutely, yeah, in my opinion, it's like throw your hat in the ring, and especially if there's two kind of the ways I look at it. If you're going to be a member anyway and you're getting all the benefits of the membership, then absolutely just throw your hat in the ring and keep your hat in the ring for each of the rounds. If you're only in it for the grant round and you've got some great feedback that's like, I know how I can tweak my application to make it better, then absolutely, yeah, do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Danielle.
Cool.
Danielle, could you tell us a little bit more about the community vote, how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is, so when applications close on the 31st of May, then we have like a 4-day window to do all of our internal admin. And what we do is we create a page for every one of the applicants. And on that landing page is your video application and the answers to your questions and links to your business so people can discover you and go and check out what it is you're all about. We send you that direct link, and there is a voting button on that page. So you are welcome to share that with your communities, whether it be your email list or your social networks, whatever it might be. And then basically that person that gets the most votes wins that People's Choice $10,000 grant. We also share the applications with our community as well. So it is a great way to be discovered. So if anyone's looking for different businesses, we send them the way throughout that voting period in June. So we'll send emails out to our list. We'll be sharing things on social media. And there's essentially a landing page with all of the applications on it. So people can go in and have a look at what women in business are up to. I will suggest as well, one thing I didn't cover in the presentation, but a question that comes up frequently is what can you spend the money on? So basically anything that you can articulate that helps you to grow your profit and impact. So we've had people spend the money on inventory, on equipment, on overheads, on marketing costs. So, basically anything. There are no restrictions. As long as it's not a Chanel handbag, you can probably spend the money on it in your business. And it doesn't have to be, I know some government grants, you have to spend the money on external consultants. Not with Spark, you can absolutely spend that money internally in your business. Awesome. Anyone else can think of anything while we're here? Oh, yeah. So we got another one. Does the winner have to provide any reporting? Yes. So in your grant agreement, it's basically outlines that. So you've got 6 months to spend the money, and you do need to spend the money on the thing that you said you would in the application, and provide evidence of that after 6 months. But that is it. So it's not like spreadsheets. It's not anything crazy. It's just, this is what I said I'd spend the money on, and here's the receipt or the invoice to prove that I did that. Awesome. So good. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in today. As I said, if there's any questions that didn't get answered, please feel free to email me, Danielle@sparkbusiness.global. And if you want to book a one-on-one time, I'm pretty sure my Calendly link is on the landing page. So you're welcome to actually book time in my diary if you want to ask a one-on-one question as well. That's absolutely no stress. Oh, Katarina, hello. Good. And also, if you do join and you're looking at the application and you're like, okay, I just need someone to sense check this with me. Again, I'm super happy to get on a call with anyone, talk through your application and make sure that you feel really comfortable about it. So yeah, my job is to support you. So anything you need, you just let me know.
Oh, so yeah, I did have a question. I reckon it's Danielle, it's equity free
Yes.
grant. So I was like, that sounds wonderful.
Yes, I agree.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time, I was wondering, hang on, how does it really work? I
Sure.
understand that a few people have already won these grants, and so this is round 4. So I mean, how frequently these rounds happen, A, and then B, is there a prerequisite? What are you looking for? Is there a requirement that I need to be mindful of, etc.?
Yeah, awesome questions. So what I'll do is I've got a quick deck, but I won't read it all out to you, but I'll flick through to the relevant parts to your questions. So you're spot on. So we're in round 4. So to give you a brief history, in round 1, we only had one $10,000 grant, and we awarded that as a people's choice. So it was a vote. However, we got feedback from people that were like, not everyone's community is big enough to go get votes. So it would be good if there was a judge awarded one as well. So in round 2, we launched the judge awarded vote. So we now have a 10K people's choice and a 5K judge awarded. And that happens every quarter. So basically it's a 3-month cycle. So we're in an application month right now. So May. At the end of May, that closes. So then June is voting and judging. And then July, by the 10th of July, the grant is awarded and funded. So the money goes straight into that person's bank account within 24 hours of them signing the grant agreement. And so, yeah, so it happens quarterly. And so then the following one will be August. Will be open up for another round. So that will be round 5. Let me flick through to Oh, yeah. So these are the 5 amazing women who have already been funded. So Kat was our round 1 winner, Jamie and Peter Guy in round 2, and then Jeevee and Leanne in round 3. And eligibility, which is one of your questions. So as long as you're a business based in Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore, you identify as female, you've been in business for 12 months or more, and you are a Spark member, then that is it. So you can be any business type. You don't even need to be making money. There are some people who are still in product development. It's really anything goes. We've also got this discount code here as well. So you don't have to be on an annual membership to get access to the grant entry. You can just be on the $39 a month membership. But if you're kind of like, I'm just in it for the grant and I want a discount code, then that's amazing. So I'll flick back to our membership. So this is the membership, and it's essentially a women in business membership. Spark is designed for women in business who want to grow their profit and impact. So we're really a membership that focuses on 3 pillars, and that is community, education, and promotion. So community happens through our Slack channel, through our virtual meetups, education through our monthly masterclasses, our libraries, our resource templates. There's sales courses, marketing education, all in the portal. And then promotion. So getting you in the business directory, we'll get you on a podcast, we'll get you a news article, social shout outs, and then business discounts. So we've gone out and negotiated discounts to some of the largest business software tools that you might have, like Amazon or HubSpot or pay.com.au or anything like that. And then, of course, our quarterly grant program. So $39 a month or $365 for the year. But we do recognize that some people just want to enter the grant. So when we're in a grant application month, we do offer the $100 off for the annual membership. So it's $265. And then you get access to 4 grant rounds and all of the inclusions of the membership. So that's what membership requires. Applications, so it shouldn't take more than an hour. There's essentially a few business questions and then the video. The first 11 questions are really just like about your business. So name, website, email, just those, tell us about you questions. And then there are 3 kind of meaty questions. So what do you do? Why do you do it? How would 5 or 10K actually enable you to create more profit and impact in your business? And then what you would actually spend the money on. And then the video is basically kind of the same thing, but just more in like verbal form, because, some judges and voters will read, some will watch the video. So it's just a way of putting your best foot forward, depending on how people consume information. And the video is great too, to get a bit of a vibe from you and your business. So timing wise, applications close on the 31st of May, voting is in June and judging is in June. And then the grant will be awarded by the 10th of July. And I always say to people as well, like, there's great things around applying for the grant that I never thought would happen. It's so funny. So the application process, it's obviously a really good exercise for people to reflect on how far they've come in business, and gives them that confidence of showing up and speaking and backing themselves. But it's so funny as well, because people that do, so you don't actually have to go out and get votes. If you say, you know what, I don't want to go get votes from my community, I just want to go in for the 5K grant, then you can literally apply and forget about it. But it's really funny. A lot of the people that go out and try and get votes, they're like, just because I keep showing up and telling people what I do, we've gotten more sales this month. I'm like, I know, we've got to keep telling people what we do in our business. So I love that. But yeah, so that hopefully answers your question in terms of how frequently we do it and what's actually involved.
Is this a good time to ask another question?
Oh, please. Yeah. And we've got Claire on the line too. So Sam and Claire, the whole floor is yours. So you guys just ask me any questions you like.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. And I love the people's choice and the judge's choice. And I can, as a judge myself, I'm a marketer and designer, and I judge for AMI, the Australian Marketing Institute. And that makes so much sense, that everyone does not have the confidence to rock up to the community, but that help in selling, that helps you identify more with the business that you're building. makes all the sense in the world. And judging and their criteria, and I mean, this is well designed, well done.
Thank you.
My question was going to be, you said something about the business and 12 months. So the business that you want to raise money, that has to be months. Was that it?
Yeah, that's right. So it's just your ABN registration date. So as long as the registration of the business is 12 months or more, then that's what we take it from. So if it's a new product or new service that hasn't actually been in market for 12 months, that doesn't matter. It just goes from the business registration date.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Right? Yeah. So I'll have to think this through because
we just seem to have dodgy internet. Oh, you're on mute now too.
oh, I dropped out. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I run a consultancy in marketing and design, and right now I'm developing a service. So it's a tech startup.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking, and both of them, so to speak, sit within the consulting as a sort of business framework. So I'm just wondering how that modality is going to work, but definitely keen to explore.
Yeah, and that's it. If it's a new revenue stream, a new arm, a new product, but the top of the business has been registered for 12 months, then that's perfectly fine. And that is, there's a lot of people that have applied in the past that have been like they're like, I'm a consultant or I'm a service provider and I need scale in my business. So I want to create a course or I want to create a membership or I want to create a product or whatever it might be. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and overall, Danielle, I'm familiar with a few communities for women in business. What do you think sets Spark apart?
I love this. Spark is the best. No.
No, it is.
To be honest with you, I'm actually a part of 3 other business communities. I'm a part of Freelancing Gems. I'm a part of One Roof. I'm a part of Lifestyle Business School. So I am actually a big believer in the fact that you get different things from different memberships. So Spark, I believe our point of difference, well, I guess there's a few things. So we are very virtual first. So we do support a lot of women who are based in regional communities who perhaps can't get to the big city in-person events. So we make sure that everything we do is either live streamed or virtual, so everyone can always attend. And we have my background is sales and marketing. I've been in sales and marketing for over 20 years. I've had 2 other businesses. I still run Scrunch, my first business. So we've been in business for 12 years. It's an influencer platform and social media agency. And I built and exited an e-commerce business in 2020. And so my lens on life and business is always sales and marketing. So you'll find that Spark has very much growth at the core. So there's a lot of educational content inside the portal around marketing. There's a full end-to-end sales course. There's lots of resources and templates designed to help you grow. And then we do have our promotion arm, which again is designed to how can we get your business in front of more people? So get you on the podcast, get a news article about you, shout you out on social, get you in the biz directory. So you'll find at Spark, there's very much a we want to help you grow mindset. Absolutely, community is there as well, but we do have more of a growth lens than probably other memberships do.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And how long has, sorry for my ignorance, how long has Spark been in business?
Yeah, so Spark has been around since 2020. In 2020, we actually collaborated with Advance Queensland, the Queensland government, we got a grant from them to actually create a program for women in business. So that was through Scrunch, my other business. That's been around for over a decade. Because in 2020, I was like, oh my God, the world is falling apart. How do we help? Like, because being a woman in business for a decade ago, there wasn't much around for us women in business. And Scrunch is actually a tech business. So there was like nothing going on for women in tech all those years ago. So I just built up my networks organically. And I was like, oh my God, what can I do? So collaborated with the Queensland government, and we actually pulled together a 12-month program to support women in business. And we had a cohort of about 40 women. And it was so amazing that I decided, and I loved it so much that I turned it into a second business.
I love it. What a story.
I know, so good. And then 12 months is like way too long to keep anyone engaged. So we turned it into a 12-week program, and then we turned it into the membership. So it's evolved over the last 4 years. But it's been really exciting. And I just can't wait till it's my only business. I'm actually in the process of selling Scrunch at the moment. I'm like, I just want to like spark all day, every day. So it's exciting. I love it.
Wow.
Yes.
Claire, I'm totally the one asking the questions. I am.
That is absolutely fine. Good morning, ladies, and thank you
How
so
are
much,
you?
Danielle. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I have a few questions. What do people typically spend the money on or apply for the money? Is it a project, a product, a new service, or is it just a whole mixed bag?
Yeah, so to be honest, it is a mixed bag. So as long as you can articulate how that expense will help you grow your profit and impact, or impact,
Mhm.
then it's eligible. So it could be, I want a new website, new branding, I want to spend it on ads. We've had people just spend it on operations. Some people do want like say an equipment purchase or to build out a new product. So yeah, as long as you can say, if I spend this money in my business, it's going to help me get to X or Y,
Mhm.
whatever, then it's eligible.
Can it be for personnel? Say you
Yeah.
want. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So Peter Guy, our round 2 winner. So she is a beauty retailer and has beauty products. She spent it on people. She's like, I need to outsource, these marketing jobs to help us grow.
Mhm.
So yeah, absolutely. Personnel, payroll, contractors, anything like that is fine.
Oh wow. That's rare for a grant. So yeah.
I
That's
know.
cool.
I know, it is so funny. So as I keep ranting about, I've been around for about 12 years and I've applied for every grant that you can possibly imagine, and they drive me up the wall. Like, and so many of them you have to spend the money external to the business. And I'm like, that just makes no sense. So yeah, this one we wanted to be super flexible in terms of, I'm like, women in business know how to spend money on their business to make it grow. So let them do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Next question is competitiveness. How many applicants do you typically get in a quarter?
Yeah, so in round 2 and round 3, we had 80 applicants.
Yep.
So far, I think as of my email that went out to people on Tuesday, we had about 19. I do think everyone's going to give me a heart attack and apply in the last 2 days. But yeah, at this stage, I would say it'd probably be the same as round 2 and round 3. So maybe 80 to 100 applications.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Should I just keep firing through?
Yeah, totally. I can see we've got Jean that's just joined as well. But Claire, let's get through your questions and then we'll say hello to Jean.
Business structure, can it be anything? Again, grants typically have to be a not-for-profit, or I'm not sure where you're based, but in Perth they like you to be an incorporated association, or does any structure kind of qualify?
Yeah, any structure. So company, sole trader, charity, anything is totally fine as long as your business registration date is 12 months or more. Then that's fine.
Beautiful. What's the screening process? I might have missed it in the early part of the call, sorry. But yeah, what is that process?
Yeah, so we have 2 grants every quarter, one $10,000, which is a People's Choice Award. So that is a voted grant. So it is up to you whether you go out to your community and ask them to vote for you or not. It's totally up to you. And then we have a 5K judge awarded vote. And the 5K is essentially we have it's not always the same judge, but it's external to Spark so that nobody can bribe me. So I'd love the bribes. So they are essentially, they go away so it'll be, what are we, May? So in June, and they go through all of the applications, and essentially really what they're looking for is people that can articulate how 5K or 10K would actually impact the business. So I think the way they do it is they usually do a read through first, and then they'll shortlist based on that read through. If they get that, okay, yeah, this person really knows how this money is going to help their business, and then they go to the videos for that shortlist, and then look at the people that are kind of that they connect with and think are most deserving. And it's very hard for them because there is only that 1 5K each quarter. But yes, so that's kind of roughly the screening process.
Beautiful, thank you. And the last question is just about you. I just love hearing from other women in business, their entrepreneurial journey. I don't know if you made a transition from corporate life to self-employment, but yeah, just love to hear a little bit more about your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you the very quick version. But yes, you're right. So I always say to people, I was an excellent box ticker in my time. I did well in school. I went to university. I started saving money for a house. I got a great job in corporate. And it's so funny. So I'm a salesperson. Don't hold that against me. But I worked at Telstra in various roles, but all sales related for about 10 years. And in one of my roles, I won a holiday. Like, it was a sales competition. I won a holiday. And at the airport, I bought the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. It's so funny. And I sat on this holiday reading this book, and I was like, what? You're telling me you can just make up a business? Like, I knew nobody in business. And like, from that day on, I became absolutely obsessed with online businesses. And I started a blog. That was my first foray into business all the way back then. And through that blog, I went into this fashion retail store. I'm from Brisbane originally, and tried to sell this guy advertising on my blog, and ended up walking out with a partner and a new business. So we were together for 10 years, and I still have the business today, Scrunch, which is an influencer marketing platform and social media agency. But let me tell you, those 10 years were a rocky ride. There's like 4 different iterations of the business. We, maxed out all of our credit cards. I spent that house deposit that I'd saved. We ended up raising $3 million in capital to build the software. And yeah, it was a full-on journey. And I was saying earlier to Sam, actually, that's kind of how Spark was born. So in 2020, when the world fell to pieces, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Firstly for me, but then also all of these women that I'd built relationships with over the last decade. I was like, how do I support them? And we went to the Queensland government, and we got a grant to run a Women in Business program for 12 months. And I loved it so much that I spun off a new business called Spark and haven't looked back. So yeah, now Spark is very different. It was a 12-month program. We turned it into a 12-week program, and now it's the membership. And at the end of last year, I was again ranting about how women are so underfunded. And then I was like, damn it, now I have to do something about that. So that's how the grant program was born. And yeah, and it's just, oh my God, I love it. And I feel like we're just getting started, but it's, it's awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course. Anytime. Awesome. And I see, Jane, we lost you for a second there. Did you have any questions?
I'm back on here now. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Thanks for
Oh,
rejoining.
good. I can't I don't know how I'm looking on the screen, but I hope it doesn't look too bad.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I have been in government I've been in government for 17 years, and prior to that did have my own businesses, and now returning to creating my own business again. But of course, I've entered into a world of technology, of realize there's so much going on and beautiful innovation, that I'm taking my sort of specialty, which is in human factors and ergonomics, into this realm. So it's very new to me. And I'm at the stage where I'm spending money and not making any.
That sucks. That's a hard stage. I've been
Yes,
there.
yes. So I'm trying to work out how to fund myself, or at least not go into too much of a negative
Yep.
while I create this technology. So I'm at the stage now where I'm creating something called a green print, which is the mapping of an app or a platform that will help people within my specialty. But
Wow.
it'll most probably take 6 months before I have a prototype.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's spending money in that time. So I'm trying to work out now how I go for these grants.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point. So when one of the eligibility criteria is that the business needs to be in business for 12 months or more, but that is just the business registration date. So you actually
Yep.
don't need to be making revenue just yet. We do have people that have that are applying who are in that product development phase.
Yep.
So yes, that's perfectly fine. And essentially in your application, it would just need to outline how the 5K or the 10K, how that would
Yes.
actually get you to the next stage. So would that help you get to an app in market, or or to the next stage of app development? So if you can clearly outline that process, then that will be good.
Oh, fantastic. And yes, so I'm really excited about this, and I've met a lot of women that are in this space and just think, oh, how brave and how wonderful. So it's
It is
lovely
cool,
to
isn't
hear.
it? Like
Yeah,
it's
very
so
cool.
it always like, I don't know why it surprises me, but like, and it's especially through our podcast, I get to talk
Yeah.
to like multiple women every week doing so many things. And I'm always like, wow, there are so many cool people
Yeah,
doing so
it's
many cool
really
things.
cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool. And also, I mean, quite brave in a sense, because I think we don't traditionally get into even those that have entered technology. Not often do we do that, but we realize now how much we need it.
Yeah.
To get to the next phase. So it's a huge learning curve just related to that, let alone the subject matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think you're amazing, doing great things.
Yes. So, giving it a go. Let's see. I'm really hoping it works out.
Yeah.
So I'll have a look at it's all on your website, Danielle, is it? Is it
Yeah,
all on the site? Yeah.
yeah, so if you head to sparkbusiness.global,
Yep.
there's a banner up the top or in the menu items to get to you to the grant landing page, and that has
Okay.
frequently asked questions. It's got interviews with all the past winners,
Wow.
all the T's and C's, all of that good stuff. So,
Yep.
but in saying that, if there's anything that's not there that I haven't covered today, or you haven't asked, or you want to run your application by me or anything like that,
Yep.
my virtual door is always
Yes.
open.
Oh,
So
thank you.
always happy to
Yes,
chat.
that would be really helpful.
Amazing.
Really helpful, because I think this is only the beginning of the journey. It's quite a long one.
Yeah, it
Isn't
is.
it?
Well, and that's it, I think, in any business, it's a constant journey and we're always learning something new. So yeah, I love it.
Oh, thank you, Danielle.
Thank you. And we've got Farina as well. Not sure if you're listening in or have questions.
I am listening. I'm listening. I've asked my questions, so it's all good for now. I think
Perfect.
so. I came in halfway through, and so what I caught was that the judges go through the the written portion first.
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I was so when I was doing the last application, I kind of thought I'd kind of prioritize the video. So do you want the same thing in the video and the written questions, or
Yeah, in your video,
expanding on it?
I think it's almost like the video's like the heart. It's like your opportunity to kind of connect and, you know, like put that icing on the cake. Your video is amazing. So I don't think I'd change your video.
Okay.
But yeah, I think just I think that the judge just really wants to know, okay, if they get the 5K or they get the 10K, they can really, I guess for the judge, they're only judging the 5K. But there does need to be the delineation between the 5K and 10K, depending on whether you go for the other one, the People's Choice Award.
Yeah.
So I think
Can
they
we
just want
to just go for one?
yeah,
Just
totally.
choose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
If you're like, no, I'm not going to get votes. I just want the 5K. Then just use the word count for, I'm just going for the 5K. And this is how it would enable me to get to the next stage in business.
Yeah.
So I think they just want to really quickly be able to go, if we give them 5K, they're really going to know how to like move the business to the next stage.
Yeah. Okay. So the writing will be more of the detail, and then the video is kind of touching on that, but we've assumed they've already read it.
Yeah.
And understand. Okay. Thank you.
Love it. Awesome. Well, look, as I said, I am here if you need anything. I'll email out the replay so everyone will have my email details anyway. So do feel free to reply or book a call or anything. I'm super happy to help.
Cool.
I have another quick question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it, Claire.
Who is behind the funding? Is there a sponsor or the government, or is it you?
It's
So
me.
generous. Oh my gosh.
So I won't lie. So this is why you need to be a member. So the membership, all of our profits go to funding this grant. So, and if there's any shortfall or anything like that, then it's me.
Oh, thank you. What an angel.
No, look, and again, it's, you know, I don't know when everyone tapped in, but literally I was on a podcast recording and I was ranting about the statistics of women being underfunded, and I just got to that stage where I was like, no, you know, we're doing something about this. We're fixing this problem. And and I'm so excited. I've got my personal mission is to increase it to 25K a quarter by the end of this year. But, you know, it does require me finding sponsors and what have you. But yeah, that's kind of my personal mission. And I'm so excited. It lights me up every day.
Oh, amazing. So important. Thank you.
Of course. Love it. Love it. Well, you are all amazing. So have a fabulous rest of your day. And as I said, if you need anything along the way, just let me know.
Thanks, Danielle.
Awesome. All right. Bye, ladies.